At 6:32 a.m., welcome back to your number one station for talk, 95.1 Nigeria Info FM Abuja. Let's take a look into what the newspapers are saying this morning. On the headlines, we're going to be taking a look at the Punch newspapers, the Daily Trust, the Vanguard, the Guardian, and This Day newspapers. Remember that these headlines are published by these publishing houses and have nothing to do with Nigeria Info FM. So be sure to call in and share your messages, your comments on WhatsApp in an ethical and polite way, as we usually do.
Let's get started with the Guardian. It's got this major headline: federal government's budget in lockjam as multiple appropriations seek attention. 4 years after Amnesty International sounds alarm over continued police abuses. Only urgent neck will avert implosion, PDP ex-official members warn. How Buhari reversed Nigeria's 16-year economic gains by World Bank. Security heightens over IPOB's sit-at-home order. Minimum wage. Defaulting states may face industrial unrest in November. 20 million out-of-school children, potential Boko Haram recruits, Obasanjo warns. Move around daytime to understand Nigeria's plight, Huriwa tells Tinubu. Subscribers kick against federal government's planned 5% excise duty on telecoms. Youths protest over dilapidated Oyo-Ogbomosho Road, issue 30-day ultimatum. Motorists, residents seek quality work, speedy completion of 64 kilometers Ota-Idiroko Highway. DSS replaces Tinubu's chief security officer. And that's it on The Guardian.
Let's take a look at what the Punch is saying this morning on the front pages. Greed collapses 105 times in 10 years, despite $1.4 billion loan. Current insecurity worse than during my government, says Obasanjo. Petrol marketers import 123 million litres, continue talks with Dangote. Army debunks COAS death rumors, retires 15 generals. End SARS memorial, amnesty, activists tackle police over protesters' harassments. Super Eagles striker Boniface survives car crash in Germany. Foreign investors dump 355 billion naira stocks over forex crisis. Oyon Dam sacks Ogun, Lagos communities as flood water rises. Canada-based nurse, 2 businessmen nabbed for drug trafficking. Ekiti PDP recommends fire shares expulsion over anti-party. Kaduna LG poll, PDP alleges irregularities, vows legal action. Ondo election, cracks appear in PDP last-minute push for unity. And finally, on the Punch newspapers, Kaduna PDP dismisses boycott rumor ahead of LG poll. These and many more stories you'd find on the Punch newspapers for this morning. Let's take a look at what the Vanguard is saying on the front pages. NAS moves to reintroduce 5% excise duty on telecom betting services. High cost of toothpaste. Nigerians return to chewing stick. FG's zero import duty policy faces fresh hurdles amid inflation crisis. Nigeria loses $3 billion US annually to imported Ankara fabrics, says minister. FG's tax reforms prioritize local manufacturing, SMEs. Bill to protect local manufacturers passes first reading at Senate. FG's zero import duty policy faces fresh hurdles amid inflation crisis. Police release NSAS protesters hours after detention. Only urgent neck will avert implosion, PDP ex-official members warn. Alleged Lagbaja's death is fake news, says Army headquarters. Grid collapse. Our equipment is outdated. TCN MD calls for investments. And finally, on the Vanguard newspapers, out of school syndrome, recruitment for future Boko Haram, says Obasanjo. These and many more stories you'd find on the Vanguard newspapers this morning.
Moving on now to what this day has got. Falana, EFCC, ICPC not illegal, enabling laws properly passed. Chief of Army Staff Taoreed Lagbaja speaks to Tinubu on health status. Akpabio, hardship not caused by Tinubu, he will leave lasting legacy for Nigerians. Nigeria's offshore oil, gas, production industry projected to hit $47 billion by 2031. Abdullahi Sule, we haven't borrowed to develop Nasarawa. Lawal becomes Tinubu's new CSO. In Austria, Enugu, Vienna moved to strengthen bilateral cooperation. NCAA urges Lagos State to submit intent declaration for Ibejuleki Airport as expression of firm intention. African Development Bank Board approves $100 million for establishment of Youth Entrepreneurship Bank in Nigeria. World Bank to federal government conduct audit to reconcile what NNPC owes Federation. External reserves grow $2.92 billion in 3 months, hits $38.9 billion. Oyebanji signs anti-land grabbing bill, 2 others into law. And that's it on this day.
And finally, on the Daily Trust newspapers, on the front pages, CNG, commercial drivers, others task government on infrastructure, refueling stations. Lagbaja not dead, says Army. Legal battle over electricity tariff hike not over, says Man. 11 killed in Anambra cult clash. Police arrest, release NSAS memorial protesters. APC will capture all southwest states, but I won't reveal our secret, says Ganduje. Defense Minister hails troops for securing Kaduna Benin Gwari Road. French teachers protest JAM's exclusion of pre-degree certificates. NRC gets acting MD as Okiria bows out. FG launches roadmap to combat plastic pollution. Ekiti PDP recommends Fayoshe's expulsion. 2027, Nigeria must avoid becoming a one-party state, says Makinde. Anambra PDP crisis created in Abuja, says ex-minister. And finally, on the Daily Trust, FG targets 15% reduction in cost of courier services. These and many more stories you'd find on the Daily Trust newspapers this morning.
We are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. You can go onto those platforms to see, watch the show live and be a part of the conversation. Good morning, Anthony Menogu. Our night was good. Our weekend was fantastic. Some people had so much fun, like they've told me. We love you too.
Yeah.
Thank you
for those people.
Absolutely. You're right here. Fabian Wokocha says it's no longer news that the national grid collapsed again. It is clear that the government is not ready to solve Nigeria's power sector problems. It's obvious that there are lots of people benefiting, is what he says. Let's go on to the phone lines right now. Do all to move away from your device as soon as you get through. Move away. Give your name, your location, and let's hear your thoughts. 0700 951 0000. 08095974869 and 08099930137. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome.
My name is Gabrielle from Bisala.
Go ahead.
These governors who are dragging on the payment of minimum wage, it says they are not serious. After their allocation has been increased, so I see no reason why they still give excuses not to pay the minimum wage. How much is the pay? 70,000. Let the government come out and tell the whole world how much is their salary and their allowances every month. Let them come out and tell the whole world how much do they pay to their commissioners in their state, the estates, and other political appointments. So it's the act of wickedness for any governor now to give excuses that he or she or he cannot pay the minimum wage.
All right.
There's money on ground, so they should pay. Their allocation has been increased.
Good morning.
All right then. Good morning.
Good morning,
You're welcome.
Prophet Michael Chimuke.
Go ahead.
Good morning, all.
Welcome. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Fine. How are you? I'm Reverend. I'm Gabrielle.
Well, very well. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Now we should avoid making Nigeria one-party state. This is what APC stands for. Nigeria is becoming one-party state. They say that they cannot reveal the secret of making Nigeria one-party state. That's exactly what they are pushing to achieve. Nigeria is gone from this their push. Take care.
Good morning. Your device is on. Welcome.
Yes, sir. My name is Adila.
Please go ahead. Sorry about that.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning once again, Itodo.
Good morning. Welcome.
My name is Salasi, and I greet the listeners and callers of this great radio station. I greet Elder Onoda. Mala Haruna from Kuku, I greet you. 20 million out of school children potential Boko Haram Obasanjo. And that is the truth. Itodo started from Abuja. Most especially if you are going towards the northern part of this country, you will see a lot of these children. You could imagine a child of 5 years old, 6 years, seeing them on the street begging. You know, you could imagine the future of these children. And these are the children that they grow in such manner because as far as they're concerned, they have nothing to lose. And that is why they'll be easily carried away by these terrorists, and they'll bring them, and before you know. So I think the northern elders will do something about out of school children. It's so rampant in the northern part of this country.
All right.
We hope they will do something about out of school children. It's so alarming, my brother.
All right.
All right then. Thank you very much.
you.
Let's take some messages on WhatsApp. This says, good morning. Akbabi always speaks. Always, we want him to tell us who caused hardship presently in this country, if not Tinubu as a Senate president and a country suffering at this level of hardship. What has Akpabio done to help in alleviating the poverty in this country? We're tired of these people because they do not have anything to offer. Izimat in Carmel sends that in. This says, good morning. Kindly educate me between the difference on the difference between Nigeria and failed state, considering the state of affairs currently, Emmanuel from Kwankwashe says, Army retired 15 generals. We know in Nigeria, when there is exodus retirement and in that nature, then they're making way for one person. Away from Kuje says. Elder Bosso Nyanya says, Ganduje says APC will capture the whole West, that he won't reveal the secret. Yes, it will happen as long as one person is speaking and all the party members. And this year says, I will urge Akpabio not to make more infuriating utterances, because it seems that anytime he opens his mouth, he is directly mocking Nigerians. Henry Achi from Maraba.
All right,
says.
let's see what you're saying on YouTube right now. Josiah Oba says Nigerians return to chewing sticks. My advice is that people should use the short ones. Are there any benefits?
The short what now?
The short
Chewing
ones.
sticks?
Yeah. Maybe it's safer to use so you can easily handle and
Oh, I see.
not hurt yourself
I
and
don't
other
know.
people.
Have you ever used the chewing
stick?
sticks?
I have, yeah. I have a long time ago, but it's
okay.
really, it depends on and it's got like flavored ones as
Yeah,
well.
there are flavored ones as well. All right.
Well, Biama Chang Habila says hardship not caused by Tinubu. He will leave long-lasting legacy. Says Senate President. Let him tell us then who caused this hardship, is what Biama says. And also Francis, the ruling APC government should begin to fix Nigeria's refineries, diversify the economy, and invest hugely into agriculture to tackle the current fuel crisis, hunger, and other economic hardship Nigerians are suffering. Which way, Nigeria? And the incessant collapse of the national grid is not a good omen to the giant of Africa, like Nigeria. The president should use his veto power to overhaul the power sector in order to get things right. As teaching time saves 9 is how he ends his message. How Buhari reversed what is the question that Muazu John Lasisi begins with. Economic gains for how many years? Please don't say that again. We are still in it today. Well, maybe you want to go read the details of that particular headline so you can get what the story is all about. Let's get to you now.
Good morning.
I'm reporting from Bari.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, APC chair told us that they will capture the West. They are right, you know they are performing. So, what do you expect? That's the dividend of democracy. I want to quickly come to Buhari. I want to appeal to Wike, please. It's just that they are not reporting it. Do you know that they killed a relation, a beautiful lady? They slaughtered her. Haven't paid, I will not say it. And that's how they have been entering people's home, especially those ones living far away from, close to the city in Buhari. They will just enter, slaughter somebody, kidnap people. The security people are trying, but they can do more. Apart from bad roads, I don't want to talk of bad road and markets. Please, this one I'm telling you is, in the past 3 days, then finally, the blue guy, you did not tell us. Nigerians, this issue of economy hardship, we know they learn. Immediately I hear certain things, I will come and say it already. Look like one is looking for a name or something. So my friends who say should not tell me until when the market spoil. A man came that is representing the government. He said container in PW market, and he said government gave him food stuff to share to people. Now a bag of rice that starts with B, that they are selling it 115,000. If you bring 50,000, I will give you. The first set of people, they gather money. If I'm aware, I will quickly say it already. They not tell me. They now gathered money and gave him. The first set of people collected rice and other things. The second set, many people contributed money. Now, so this man long container, take off. Please be smart with the little you have. 50,000 is enough to buy a bag of rice. You must not get a full bag. Wait for all these ones.
All right.
All right, then.
Thank you, Mrs. Omeza. It's 6:52 right here. We're going through the headlines and getting your reactions. We are also streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. Once you get through right now, you would have 45 seconds. We have the news coming up at 7 o'clock. So it'd be great if we can get you to share your thoughts in good time. Go on that breather, come back and take more of your messages.
Good morning. All right, do all to call back. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, my lovely sister.
You're welcome.
I was on it.
Very well, thank you.
Happy New Week. I greet Mr. Itodo in the studio.
Welcome. Please go ahead.
And I greet Salasi and Mala Bakari and Momizi and Sarah.
You have 45 seconds. It's running. Please go ahead.
Lovely
for not to try to do it.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Remember the man a lot of time the dollar when I went out of National State.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to take from the Obasanjo issue about Boko Haram. Let me tell you, let our leader get up and do the election because this country is going to be anyhow. And I don't think our past leader, however them, they really take this country for granted and let them take necessary action because everybody is hungry with our leader. Let them take necessary action because everybody thinks this country is going to be fine, but I don't know how they take it.
All right.
And do the needful. Bye-bye for now.
All right,
All right,
thank
you very much.
And Comrade Chris Ezocha Madala says, on the Fabio's statement regarding the current hardship, it shows no empathy for Nigerians. By not feeling the pains and anxieties of the masses, let him continue to defend. Indeed, power and absolute power corrupts. Absolutely is what he ends his message with. I just want to talk about the incessant collapse of the national grid. I think the government should do something before something does us or happens to consumers. We who paid, and the tariff keeps on increasing. But what are we getting for what we pay is a question that Acrosoft in Jaws is asking.
And this here is from Bello Tolulokpe in Duse, who says, out of school children. Oh, I see. Okay. Bello, thank you for your thoughts. Good morning. This NSAS protesters release from which correctional center, please? Somebody should help me ask. Lai Mohammed Michael from Madala says. Northern elders should advise and sensitize their people on birth control to avoid having children they cannot cater for. Ima from Kuje sends that in. Hardship not caused by Tinubu, says Akpabio, and I ask him who removed subsidy and floated the naira. Moreover, he promised to continue where Buhari stops. Day of judgment is coming, and that comment is from Leo. We'll take a quick break and we'll return right after this.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
My children are athletes. From
This is Nigeria in